What's up, guys? Let's take a step outside and listen to the massive world of sound that's around you. It's something that's always there in the foreground and in the background, and it's something that's very easy to overlook. But if you were to instantly turn those sounds off, you'd realize just how weird that world would seem. Guys, it's amazing how much a film soundtrack contributes to our film viewing experience. And what's interesting is that a film soundtrack is actually separated into 3 different parts. You have your dialogue, you have your music, and then you have your sound effects. In this video, we're going to specifically talk about sound effects and how important they are in selling the realism of your film environment. So sound effects are used in TV, music videos, commercials, any type of digital media to accentuate specific kinetic occurrences. When you hear different sound effects, you're going to realize that they all have different qualities that make them sometimes very unique from each other. Check this out. When you're in an environment, there are all sorts of sounds that are around you, that are present, that are being processed by your ear and by your brain. Now, if you were to hear all those sounds with the same intensity, you would go mad because you wouldn't be able to distinguish anything. So what your brain has to do is it has to actually choose the specific sounds that it thinks are important. And what you're going to do is you're going to hear those sounds at a much greater intensity than all the other sounds. Well, guess what? It's important when you're a filmmaker and when you're mixing your audio track, mixing your soundtrack, your sound effects and everything, that you make sure that those intensities are followed in a realistic way. So that's why you can't have all your sound effects at the exact same intensity, or else it won't even seem realistic. Take, for example, a scene where 2 people are talking on the street. You're gonna hear all this background noise and you're gonna hear the 2 people talking. Well, what you're gonna do is you're gonna have to realize that the people talking will have to be at a much louder intensity than the background noise, because that's how it would realistically seem. If I was talking to you, I'm gonna be trained in on your voice, and I'm probably gonna even forget that there's all this background noise that even exists.
What about us?
We'll always have Paris.
Now, guys, say we're in a massive room like a gym. We're gonna have to figure out how is the sound, how do any sound effects that we put into our scene, how are they affected by the acoustics of the room? What's very interesting is if the acoustics are off, you're instantly not gonna be able to suspend your audience's belief. They're not gonna believe that they're really watching something that's real. They're gonna instantly understand this is a fake film. So say you have someone that's talking on the phone in a massive gymnasium. It's gonna be crucial to make sure that reverb or echo is heard in their voice or in any kind of sound effects that they're doing within this environment. Another side note too is when you hear the other person talking on the other line, it's crucial that you put a high pass filter so that they sound like they're talking over the phone.
Staff Sergeant Dignam, he's on a leave of absence.
If you don't put the high pass filter on the person on the other line, it's not going to sound realistic. If you're filming underwater, you're going to have to make sure to make all sound effects, any vocal sounds sound like they're coming from underwater. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to actually want to put a low pass filter. This saves all the low frequencies and it makes sure that your sound has this muffled sound. You may want to put some bubbling noises to sell the point that you're actually hearing this from underwater, and you should be set. Hey guys, I don't know if you can hear the loud music behind me, but the issue right now is I'm talking and this music is overpowering my voice. This is the importance of filming your background music on a separately from your vocals and from your sound effects, because you won't be able to control the volume of each track individually because they're all big together. So what you want to do is you want to record your vocals and your sound effects separately in a really quiet environment, and then you can add your background music later on. In post-production, it's really easy.
Last random piece of advice about sound effects is when you're applying them, make sure that you have full coverage. Every interaction that one thing is going to have with another thing is going to include some kind of dissipation of energy, which means that it's going to create some kind of sound. Just be very, very anal about making sure that every element that's moving and interacting with another element has its own sound design or sound effects that have been thought through and actually created. And this is going to make the sound environment that you're creating sound very, very realistic.
So guys, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you my entire sound library that I have on my computer for free. I'll tell you the library is a little bit small, but I think you'll really like the quality and the types of sounds I have in the library. I've used these sounds in Chris Brown videos, Sean Kingston videos, all sorts of artists, all sorts of like personal lifestyle videos that I've made. I'll tell you how to get them. Go to luxuryleaks.com, scroll down to the very bottom and click on this link. While you're at it, check out any of the beautiful light leak overlays that you can buy over there for only $5. Now on part 2 of this video is a tutorial talking about specific techniques regarding how to apply sound effects. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the sound effects editing process in a video I made last year called Identity. Check it out.
And treat those two imposters just the same.